In the center of the Gaza Strip, in the town of al-Zawaidah, near Deir el-Balah, a stretch of land has turned into a camp of tents. Plastic sheets and canvas walls now stand where no homes once existed. They rise and fall slightly with the wind. Between them, narrow passageways form paths of sand and dust. This is where thousands of displaced Palestinians now live, waiting in uncertainty, carrying memories of streets, neighborhoods, and houses that are no longer within reach. The sun falls differently here, unhindered by walls or roofs. Clothing is hung along ropes tied between wooden poles. Pots sit over small flames made from broken wood, cardboard, and scraps of fuel. Children move between tents carrying containers of water. People speak quietly. There is no room for privacy, only for survival. Among the families living here is that of 42-year-old Hani Abu Omar. Before the war, he lived in Beit Lahia in the far north of Gaza. He worked, saved, and built his home over years of labor. Each piece of stone and cement was part of a future he imagined for his children. Now that home is beyond what has become known as the Yellow Line, a boundary marking the area where Israeli forces withdrew as part of the ceasefire agreement. Past that line lies danger, military presence, and neighborhoods left in ruins. Inside Hani's tent, the space is tight but organized. Thin mattresses are laid on the ground. Blankets are folded in small piles. A few personal belongings, plastic bags, clothing, utensils, are arranged in corners so that every inch of the tent can be used. Hani moves carefully as he enters, mindful not to disturb what little order has been created. Nearby, his wife, Sana Jihad Abu Omar, prepares food the way many women here now do, on the ground with a small fire, measuring ingredients by eye, stretching meals to make sure everyone is fed. Her movements are practiced, steady. She cooks outside under the open sky because there is no kitchen, no counters, and no door to close against the wind. Their daughter hangs laundry on a rope. She lifts each garment, shakes it gently to remove dust, and clips it in place. The action is ordinary, but the surroundings make it feel heavier, as though the routine itself is trying to preserve some sense of normal life. Families in the camp sit together inside their tents, sometimes speaking, sometimes silent. They share memories of their homes, updates from relatives, and news, both hopeful and uncertain, about whether movement northward will ever be allowed again. A child carries a container of water that is almost as large as she is. Women bake bread beside small ovens fashioned from metal scraps. The sound of kneading dough and shaping loaves replaces what used to be the noise of kitchens, markets, and busy streets. Hani explains why returning home, even after the ceasefire, has remained impossible. He speaks with a mix of exhaustion and clarity, a man who has thought about these words many times. After the ceasefire, it was dangerous for us to return to our home because it is beyond the Yellow Line. Some young men from our family risked their lives. They went to inspect the destruction in our area and told us that my house was destroyed. My house is destroyed now. All my life I've been working, earning, and doing everything I can to build a house. Hani Abu Omar. For Hani, the boundary is not just a physical line. It represents a separation between the life he built and the place where he now stands. The ceasefire brought quiet skies, but not freedom to return. He expresses a hope that remains fragile but persistent. I wish I could go back to Beit Lahia. I'm hoping the first phase ends and we can move to the second one. If a new withdrawal line is established, I want to be able to return, even if it's just to put up a tent at the door of my destroyed house. Living here in the tents is unbearable. The conditions aren't suitable. Life doesn't feel like our own, and we're suffering from skin diseases and lack of water. Hani Abu Omar. This desire to return even to rubble reveals the core of displacement. People are not seeking comfort, they are seeking belonging. Being near the ruins of home is, for many, better than being safe elsewhere. But the ceasefire itself has been uncertain, fragile, interrupted. Hani describes this fear clearly. We feared that first phase wouldn't be completed when the agreement was made and when the Jews and the occupation army violated it and the bombing started. After all the heavy bombardment we went through, our hope of returning and of the agreement actually being carried out became very weak. Hani Abu Omar. One of the strongest defining emotions in this camp is uncertainty. People do not know if they will return in weeks, months, or years. They do not know if the next phase will allow movement or if lines will shift again. The future has become a waiting room without a door. Sana, who spends much of her day preparing meals and tending to her children, speaks about hardship in simple words, words that describe both physical and emotional strain. Life is very, very difficult here when it comes to cooking and providing food. We used to live a good life, but the occupation has made it miserable for us. They haven't left anything good for us, but God willing, we will return to our homes. Sana Jihad Abu Omar. She gestures toward the tent, which must shelter 8 people. There are no walls to stop heat in the day or cold at night, no storage, no insulated protection, no stable ground. Where could we possibly live? There is no real shelter. Tents don't protect anyone. They are useless. They don't protect us from the cold or heat. They are of no benefit at all. Imagine one tent for 8 people. Life here is extremely difficult. Sana Jihad Abu Omar relief aid does reach Gaza, but economic reality is harsher. Prices may drop, supplies may arrive, but without employment, families cannot afford basic necessities. The crisis is not only one of shelter, but of livelihood. Sana explains, it's true some goods have been brought in and some goods have even become cheaper. But still, we have no money to buy anything. There's no work and no income. How can we buy things? How can we secure an income? Even if prices go down, it's pointless because we have no income to begin with. Sana Jihad Abu Omar. Every day in the camp is shaped by repetition. Fetch water, prepare food, clean as much as the environment allows, care for children. Try to maintain dignity in a place not built for long-term living. Children continue to play because childhood continues even in the hardest conditions. They run between tents, find joy in small things, and ask questions adults struggle to answer. Their world is now defined by fabric walls and sand, yet they carry memories of rooms, doors, balconies, and streets. The camp has become a temporary city, but without the structures that define cities, no permanent buildings, no electricity network, no stable sanitation, no schools operating regularly, no workplaces. It is existence paused, suspended. People here speak about return the way others speak about future plans, not if, but when. The word return carries weight. It is not about reclaiming possessions. It is about restoring identity. Homes, even destroyed ones, anchor people to history and belonging. Being near them allows grieving, rebuilding, remembering. But for now, there is the yellow line, a line drawn not by choice, but by force and agreement. A line visible only on maps and in military planning, but deeply felt by every family forced to live south of it. The wind continues across the open plain. The canvas walls continue to rise and fall. Bread continues to bake over open fires. Children continue to carry water. Parents continue to explain to them why they cannot go home. Time stretches here, not toward resolution, but toward more waiting. The story of displacement is not only about where people fled, it is about how long they must remain where they did not choose to be. Hani and his family, like thousands of others, hold on to the idea that one day, even if only to stand beside what remains of their destroyed homes, they will cross that line. They will walk back. They will return, even if the home is gone, even if the world has changed, because home is not only a building, it is a place where life once made sense, and that is what they are waiting to reclaim.